Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to show you how you can use two pie charts to summarize a company's sales and why you may want to go that route as opposed to just using one chart for your visual. In this example here, I've downloaded data from Pfizer's most recent quarterly results. So I see their top product sales for the period. And what I'm going to do is start with just creating a simple pie chart. So if I click anywhere on this data set and click Insert, select the drop down for the pie chart and just select the default one. By default, it's not giving me the right data set. As you can see, what I can do is right click, select data, and then remove this series and just manually add it myself. So I'm going to select sales for the name and the actual values. I'm going to select here. And on the category, it's just the actual product. Hit OK. And now I've got a pie chart. What I'm going to do is change the default formatting so it's on a black background, it's easier to see. And I'm going to add some data labels here. I'm going to format them so I've got, let's say, my category name and my percentage. Now, although this technically works, the problem is you can see it starts to get really compressed in this area. There's not a whole lot of space, especially once you get to the smaller values. And so this is where you may want to consider using a second pie chart. And to do this, what you can do is you select on the chart design, there's an option to change the chart type. So if I click on this, I'm back to that option where you're selecting your chart. And here I'm going to select pie of a pie. I'm going to hit OK. And now you can see some of those products, those smaller ones, have been pushed off onto this second pie chart. So it's freeing up a bit of space on here. Now this other slice is, just grouped into a larger piece to say, okay, this pie chart is what makes up this other series. Okay, so now that I've got the labels on here, I can remove the legend here just to free up a bit more space. And there's some customization you can apply here for this chart. By default, it's going to add these four items on here. But let's say I want to customize this a bit. So I can hit Format Data Series again. And now you'll see on the right-hand side, there's an option to split series by either position, value, percentage value, or custom. So if I start with position, the default, it shows the values in the second plot as 4. But let's say I want to add more items onto here, 5, 6, or 7. So now I've only got 3 items here, plus the other tab, which is now grown to 18%, and now shows me the makeup of that 18%. So there's a lot of flexibility in how many items you want to show in the second chart versus the first chart. So if you want to move off just to the top 5 in one area, you can do that. And in this case, because I've got 10 items and I've got 5 in here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. Another option is to filter based on value. So let's say I only want the products that had sales of at least $1 billion. So in this case, I can type in 1,000 as being my cutoff. Now anything less than 1,000 or $1 billion is showing up on this second chart. And here only the top selling items that were at least 1,000 or $1 billion show up in this larger slice. A third option is to filter by percentage value. So right now it defaults to 10%. So only the items that made up 10% or more show up on this first chart. So you can see there's some items here that 8%, 7%, 3%. So if I change this down to, let's say, 7%, now I'm starting to see a few more items getting pushed over to here. 6%, right? So now anything less than 6% is going to show up on this pie chart, and everything greater or equal to is going to be on here. So that's another option you could do. And the last way you can customize this is using the custom option. And in this case, this is actually more of a manual adjustment. So if I select one of these slices, let's say I wanted to move this product over to the bigger plot, I can change the drop down from second plot to first. And the same thing with any one of these, I can change them manually. The problem with this is obviously it's going to involve some manual adjustments. But if there's some items that you want to show on you know, the first chart, and it doesn't quite fit those other rules, you could use the custom approach to move these back and forth if you decide, you know, this one should go back on the second plot. You know, move some of these items if you want to go on the custom one. Oops. There we go. And to move it to the second plot or the first, however you see fit. So there's a lot of customization in using these two pie charts, and there's a lot that you can do, especially when you've got a pie chart that's got, you know, more than 7 or 8 items and it's starting to get really crowded on there. You should consider definitely using a second pie chart.